Okay then lads, welcome to today's video. So in terms of what we're going to do today, I'm actually going to get you to make up a design for the logo for the Teams page, alright? So whoever makes the best logo will get their one put on the Teams. So when you go click in where it says Wood Technology, there's a little picture on them. I'll actually upload the one, whichever one I think is best onto that, alright? So why are we doing this? In terms of woodwork, there is a lot of making involved in it, alright? As you get older and get more into the subject, there's also a lot of designing into it. Okay, so especially when you get to third year in junior cert, you will end up being given a brief and you'll have to make something around that brief. So the brief is kind of a set of instructions and you'll have to come up with a design and then make it. Okay, designing can be hard if you don't start early enough. That's why doing simple things like designing a logo can be a good way for you to start in first year into actually getting your mind thinking about creating things. Okay? So there's no use in just being able to make a chair off a plan. You also would have to be able to design a chair as well. Okay? So, what your brief simply is for this today is you're going to have to create a logo for the Wood Technology team. So the subject is called Wood Technology. A lot of people call it woodwork, myself included. The correct term nowadays is Wood Technology. Okay, so what I want you to do is, with some element of woodwork involved in it, it's completely up to yourself, you're going to make a logo for it. Now, what I did here was, I drew out a box 10 centimeters by 10 and I rounded the corners off mine with a marker. Okay, now it's completely up to you. You don't have to have a border, I don't mind. It's your logo, you decide. You could also make the logo circular either, okay? So with a compass, or if you had a roll of sellotape or masking tape, you could draw around and create a logo, okay? So, I'll draw along, do a bit of drawing, maybe you'll get some ideas and I'll let you off yourselves then, okay? So in terms of what I'd be thinking for my logo is, I would probably like to have Wood Technology maybe wrote down here, and up on top I'd have some sort of tool or thing like that displaying that we'd use in woodwork. So I'm gonna, to make sure my writing's nice and neat, I'm actually going to use my T-square. Now you can use, I have the T-square because I've taped down. You can use a ruler if you prefer to. Alright, so I'm just going to line out like this. Alright, so I want wood up in this line, technology in this line. So, kind of when I'm doing these, lads, I find myself just kind of changing things as I go along, making up a design idea. So I have no real idea what I want to do here. It'll kind of come to me as I'm drawing. So in woodwork as well, you also have to have the ability to sketch. Alright, so sketching is a very important part. That's why this is good practice for you as well. Okay, so I'll write wood here in capital letters. Oh, so you notice I'm drawing in pencil first. In case I make a mistake, I can then rub it out. Alright. Now, okay, so I'm starting off somewhere. Wood Technology. I'm going to heavy this in with a marker, then I'll continue off. Okay, so I've heavied in my writing now. I kind of tidied it up a small bit with a fine liner pen. You can use a black colouring pencil, whatever you have, it's up to yourselves, okay? I always like to start out, especially sketching, lads, you always use a pencil starting out. That means you can rub it out or alter things as you go along. So what I'm doing here then is, I'm going to kind of make a caution sign around it. So I will need a black and a yellow pencil. Alright. So this is kind of my design I'm coming up with. You make your own. Okay. So make sure, lads, you'll need to buy yourselves a set of colouring pencils. Alright. You'll use them throughout your time in school, especially in different subjects, not only woodwork. Alright. I'm going to start to make a caution band along the top of mine. So every second one is yellow, the other one is black. This design is completely yours. Come up with your own thinking. Okay, so now I have my caution band drawn in. Next thing I want to kind of add to mine is I want to keep kind of this woodwork kind of, I suppose, industrial flow going to the logo. I want to put 4 screws in either corner of the drawing, right? So how I normally draw my screws now is like so. Roughly in the corner, I will draw a small circle in either corner. Alright. Try keep them in line. Like so. Something. Yeah, roughly like that. Then I have my fine liner. I'll go over them. Heavy them in. And then what I'll do is I'll draw a line across like that to actually make it look like it's a flat-headed screw put into the piece. Okay. Then normally I colour them in grey. Okay, so grey then for a screw or a silver, you can use your pencil to colour it in. It's up to yourself. So I'll colour it in something like that. Now then. Okay, so that's that step done. So it makes it look like it's actually bolted to the wall. Now, next part I want to do is create some sort of design up here. I'm going to go with, I think maybe some sort of design of a saw blade next, alright? So you can use a compass if you have one, if not, you don't even have to draw a circle. You could draw a chisel, you could draw a saw, you could draw a tree up the top. You could have this whole thing the shape of a tree. Use your imagination. This is what I'm going to do, right? So I'm going to draw roughly the shape of a saw blade of some sort, okay? So I want to stop it there, and sketch roughly. So you'll see when I'm drawing, lads, I draw very light with the pencil first. That makes it easier to rub out as I go along, alright? So good. Getting somewhere now with the drawing. Now, there. I like the shape of that. That's good with me. I'm going to heavy mine in now. So first of all, we'll get this small inner hole here done. Okay, so we'll colour that in black. Now with the next one, we'll go like so. And then lastly, for the outer line of mine, I'm going to put jagged teeth on it as it is a saw blade, okay? So I'm just going to go something like this. Okay, to make it look like a saw blade. Then what I'll do is I'll get one of my pencils then, and I will actually shade that in. Okay, so the saw blade would be grey, so I'll turn my pencil on its side and start to shade it in. I'm going to put a few marks on my saw blade just to make it look, I suppose, a bit more realistic. Now then, okay, I'm probably going to colour it in now to make the drawing stand out a bit, so I'll pause it and show you it here then. So when I'm colouring, I just rubbed out these lines here, these pencil lines. I always like to turn my pencil on its side, alright, and shade then. You always colour in the one direction as well, okay? So you never go up this way and then turn around like that. It looks bad, okay? So turn your pencil on its side and just gently press, and it should start to give you a nice even shade on the page. Okay, make sure not to go over the lines. You'll find, lads, if you actually colour in stuff and you do a bad job on it, it ruins the look of the actual sketch. Okay. So you can start to press a bit harder then when you get it drawn in. So now I think I would like a line under each one of these. Like so. Okay, so now my logo is nearly done. I'm going to colour in the top half here now, and then pretty much that will do it for me there then. A good logo for the page should be something related to woodwork, and it should be in general simple and enough to see. Okay, so you can look up woodwork logos and see what you can find online. Alright, so I'll pause it now, I'll colour in the top, and then I'll show you the final product. Okay, so that's it there. I've my finished logo. That's an example for you to look at. You can do whatever you like for the logo. Main thing is keep it related to woodwork. Alright, it is a logo of the woodwork team. Keep it some way relevant. And secondly, keep it simple enough. Alright, good logo should stand out. Have a look at the logos that's on your team's page. Best one then, I'll pick when they're submitted in the assignment, and that'll get put on the page. Okay, so make sure, lads, when you're taking it to submit it, you maybe bring it up to the kitchen and take a good picture of it in the good light. Don't have it in your bedroom where it might be more darker. Alright, so make sure you get a nice clean picture of it. Any questions, just ask me.